Hi everyone, welcome to today's exciting story. We're introducing a legendary figure known as Uncle Long, and his story is more entertaining and, however, without evidence, his underlings can't confront Uncle Long. Meanwhile, the local tycoon Carl has resorted to spy tactics to make Uncle Long's life. Today is the final judgment day. If the judge rules Uncle Long not guilty, Carl is out of luck, especially since this accusation is more than just bribing a cop, but that big sum of money was a gift from Uncle Long to the female officer. Uncle Long had her testify, and it turns out she was the one who approached him first. They first hit the bar, then went to a motel. But the lady cop seems to be quite enchanted by Uncle Long, frequently dropping by for a chat. While Uncle Long is older, his charm is as strong as steel. The female officer simply couldn't resist it, and they ended up being quite cozy for a while. This was genuine affection, how could it be bribery? Uncle Long's words made the judge reconsider. The judge thought to himself, the mastermind behind this is Carl. Uncle Long saw through it immediately and didn't take them seriously. Uncle Long seeks a bigger business. He heard a friend's uncle runs a Ford dealership and saw his chance to strike gold. But lately, a neighbor has been bothering him like there's a faulty switch. They don't know who he is and treat Uncle Long like an ordinary resident. Once he found Uncle Long, the garage door open 20 minutes ignored. Undeterred, he returned. He accused Uncle Long of not handling the trash and wanted to fine him $150. The crew couldn't stand it and wanted to defend him. But Uncle Long didn't want to fight a regular neighbor. The neighbor later saw the news, realized who he was, and stumbled to apologize. Today, uninvited Duck Xiao asked Uncle Long for a share. Uncle Long thought he was dreaming. Uncle Long categorically refused Duck Xiao's request, but Duck Xiao stubbornly insisted on sending someone to make a disturbance, and so Uncle Long decided to simply have his men deliver the losers straight to Duck Xiao. He thought to himself, looking around, how could the old man just sit around while some little character disrupted his life? In Tulsa, nobody dares to underestimate, especially with a grandson who's set to inherit everything. As Uncle Long's heir, fighting or being bullied just isn't an option. So his daughter wants to be a teacher, but Uncle Long thinks they're useless. Power rules all. A few days ago, someone tried to kill him, but was swiftly taken down by his men. Now that guy's boss wants to bury the body without anyone knowing. Because Duck Xiao and his team have developed internal conflicts, now Duck Xiao finds himself in a difficult situation while the major villain Kiki, despite trying to maintain composure on the surface, is actually in a state of disarray inside, unable to control himself. Kiki can't comprehend why he betrayed his father to help Duck Xiao get rid of Uncle Long. Meanwhile, Uncle Long remains breezy as ever. The angrier Kiki gets, the more he spills his secrets when drunk, causing his underlings to glare at him in shock. After spilling, he collapsed on the couch, snoring like a dead pig. Uncle Long, far away in Tulsa, missed out on a laugh. Today, Uncle Long decided to take a trip to the wind power plant, eager to dive into this crazy wind power industry. He wanted to know how to use the wind power plant to grow hydroponic cannabis, as it's a highly profitable venture. Uncle Long engaged in a power duel with the power plant boss, both wanting to cash in on this windfall. He hoped to earn 20% of the energy profit, but the boss wanted 20% of the hydroponic cannabis profits too. Uncle Long found this demand outrageous and unnegotiable. Yet he was reluctant to let go of the collaboration, and thus after numerous rounds of back and forth negotiations, they eventually came to an agreement. At first, the profit share for the boss was minimal, but it would increase gradually each year as a backup plan. Finally, they struck a deal and could happily work together at last. Uncle Long's business empire expanded again, but the local tycoon Carl wasn't going to let that slide. Carl had bribed Uncle Long's old friend and learned about Uncle Long's plans, preparing to strike. Feeling the pressure closing in, he too had the cannabis business, realizing the competition was fierce. On the land issue, Uncle Long always pays more yet gets less in return, which really gets to him. However, Carl's behavior is becoming increasingly excessive. Whenever Uncle Long's men engage in mere petty theft, Carl flies into a rage, acting as if he's the undisputed kingpin of the territory. The cunning Uncle Long, though appearing old, has a sharp mind. Nearing 80, he still reigns in Tulsa. Lately, he's been plotting at the big boss place, getting a clear picture of the whole situation. Uncle Long's business has expanded several times, planning to grow hydroponic cannabis using a wind farm and enter car sales. Running both sides will allow him to stash cash more openly, so he dispatched someone to negotiate with car dealers. Recently, it turned out that these two happened to be relatives, thus making the business deal particularly easy to seal. Uncle Long's recent lucky streak has made him wary of enemies, sharpening his instincts. But his opponents are facing troubles too. The biggest drug dealer in Tulsa is mourning a lost henchman because of Uncle Long. He dared not confront Uncle Long directly. After all, it was Kiki who urged him to stir the pot. The drug dealer could only whine to Kiki daily, trying to get him to deal with Uncle Long. But if Kiki really tried to harm Uncle Lon, why bother using the dealer? Everyone's busy with their own troubles. Recently, Kiki drunkenly spilled secrets about his father, causing everyone to mistrust him even more. When they heard Kiki wanted to take on Uncle Lon, his men hesitated who wants to tag along to a suicide mission. Yet Kiki, being a tyrant, won't permit them to defy him. Ultimately, Kiki's crew isn't as united as Uncle Lon's, making him feel even more anxious. In the end, tensions keep rising in this game, and the showdown between Uncle Lon and Carl has only just begun. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to our channel for more exciting series to come.